Hey everyone. So this is week 3 of the NFL season. My picks for all 16 games. I know that the lighting is not good. I'm going to fix it for the next time, but hopefully you enjoy my week 3 picks. I did go 10 and 6 week 1. I actually didn't calculate what I did week 2, but I will calculate that for the next video. But 10 and 6 for week 1 was a great week. I think I went like 9 6 and 1 or 8 6 something like that, or 8-7-1 in week 2. There was one push that I had, I know that, but and I think it was the Packers game or something like that. But yeah, hope you enjoy the video. So Giants vs 49ers is about to start. I'm actually, recording this video on the day of. The 49ers are minus 10.5 home against the Giants. That win last week was a fluke from the Giants, meaning that it one should never have been that far apart in the first half. And two, the Giants should never have came back. But the Giants are coming back against arguably the worst team. I would say the second worst team in the NFL. And honestly, it's a fluke also because the Giants, it shouldn't even have been that close at the end of the game because the whole game shouldn't have that whole string of events shouldn't have happened. I don't believe in the Giants. I don't believe in Daniel Jones. The 49ers are a much better team. 49ers minus 10.5 at home. I think that it's going to be about 32-10. So definitely I'm picking the 49ers there. You got the Jets versus the Patriots. Jets are home. Yes, my bias is going to play here. I did, to be clear, and you'll see that in my week 1 video when I commented my picks, I did say the Cowboys would win with the spread, and they did. The Jets, the offensive line is a huge problem. Zach Wilson, in my opinion, is a huge problem. Nathaniel Hackett's a pretty big problem. The defense is amazing. It still is. I mean, they played 82 snaps, I think, the defense last week. And when you play that many snaps, you're just going to let up that many points. Like, it's that simple. There's not any defenses, including the Cowboys, that would play that many snaps and not allow at least 24 to 30 points at a minimum. But the Cowboys defense will never do that because Dak Prescott is actually a decent quarterback. I don't trust the Patriots, though. Yes, the Patriots have beat the Jets in the last, I think, 14 games in a row. This is in the Meadowlands. I think the Jets, this will be the worst defense they play against this season so far. Now, don't get me wrong, the Patriots have a good defense still. It's still top 15. And Zach Wilson will still struggle because he still is going to have pressure in his face. But I think the Jets defense is going to hold off the Patriots offense. I don't believe in Mac Jones, and Mac Jones has not played this season yet one good full game. His second half is always better than his first half. He seems to make adjustments really well, but I just don't see. I see the Jets plus 2.5 this game. I see it's a very low scoring game. I think that they're gonna now, unlike last week, run the ball 40 times, and they'll be able to run it down the Patriots' throat and keep the defense off the field of the Jets and let them rest. That's the most important thing. Not even just let them rest. Make sure that the coaches can't scheme based on how they're playing throughout the game because of how many series they had and how many plays they played against. Coaches are just too smart to not be able to scheme against someone when you see them 80 times. Titans versus Browns. Browns win minus 3.5. I don't believe in the Titans. I don't think Ryan Tannehill is. I think he's at the end of his rope. He has 3 interceptions this year already. You're going to stack the box against Derrick Henry. He hasn't had the best of seasons at the moment so far. He has 1 TD. The Browns are a pretty good team. They're just better. Deshaun Watson is playing pretty well, and they have a good amount of weapons. I know Nick Chubb is out, but Kareem Hunt is a very good second option. Kareem Hunt is probably still a top 12, 13 running back in the league. So. If not better. So, yeah, I take the Browns, take the minus 3.5. Lions versus Falcons. The Falcons are the dark horse. Yeah, they've played very well, but Jared Goff has also played very well. I think the Lions are a better team. I think they'll stack the box against BJ and Robinson. I don't think they have someone to hawking him within the game. The Lions defense has always been aggressive. The Lions offense has always been aggressive. I think the Falcons play well when they play more normal standard teams. The Lions are not that. The Lions win this game. They win by 3, and they are home. You got the Packers versus the Saints. Packers are minus 1.5 against the Saints. I have the Saints plus 1.5 specifically. I'm just checking my pick here. Yep, Saints plus 1.5. I think the Saints are just a better team. I think Jordan Love is playing well this season, but I think that with the weapons that the Saints have, Chris Olave is playing amazing this season. I don't think the Packers defense is going to be able to stop them. I think Jordan Love again is surprisingly playing very well, and I'm happy for him as he definitely got a lot of heat. Not even to his own fault. But I think the Saints win, and I think they sneak it out at the plus 1.5. And I think they win straight up as well. Dolphins versus Broncos. Dolphins are they're too fast for the Broncos, and the Dolphins defense is actually pretty good as well. Russell Wilson does not look like himself, or actually maybe he does look like himself, and maybe the beginning of his career was an anomaly, but who knows? Tua has been very good. Dolphins are going to score, I don't know, 35 points, 30 points, something like that, and they're going to blast the Broncos. This is a very easy bet as well, and I think a lock. I think Miami minus 6.5 is a really good bet. They're home too. Vikings versus Chargers. Both of these teams are talented, but they're on the down skid. They're both 0-2. I think the Chargers are just a better overall team than the Vikings. They might not have the best wide receiver. That's Justin Jefferson. I think Justin Herbert might be a little bit better of a QB than Kirk Cousins, but it's pretty even there. But I think overall the defense of the Chargers is better. I think they'll get to the quarterback, and I think they'll win a pretty high-scoring game. And I think they'll get back on track. Both teams are in desperate need of a win, though. Bills versus Commanders. Bills are a better team. I don't care. The Commanders are 2-0. Bills are minus 6.5. You pick them minus 6.5. Josh Allen, when he plays against a team that doesn't have a great defense, he destroys them. Now, to be fair, the Commanders have a great offensive coordinator. He's really worked well with Sam Howell, but the Bills are just better. They have more weapons. They have a better defense. They're just better all around. I take the minus 6.5 even away. Jaguars, Texans. You got the Jaguars minus 8.5. I don't know what the Texans are doing. C.J. Stroud is actually playing pretty well, but there's only so much he can do. And then the Jaguars. And actually, C.J. Stroud. No, is C.J. Stroud injured? I'm not 100% sure actually. But all I know is either with C.J. Stroud or without C.J. Stroud, Jaguars are just a better team. And Travis Etienne is a great runner of the football. You got Trevor Lawrence, who has not played like Trevor Lawrence this year so far, but he's played against two good teams, and I just take the Jaguars to win. Ravens minus 8 against the Colts. The Colts, no. Anthony Richardson. That's the person who was injured. I don't know if he's going to play this week. I know he was in, concussion protocol. But either way, you got Lamar Jackson, who's playing very, very well this year so far. You got Gus Edwards, who's also doing very well on the running back side. And the Ravens are just, they're better coached. They have a better quarterback. They have a better running back. They have a better defense. Colts are just a young team, and they'll have 5 wins, 6 wins this year, and that's what they should be looking for. They're a young team with a young quarterback, and I think having 5 or 6 wins would be a good season for them. Seahawks versus Panthers. Seahawks. I don't like either of these teams, to be honest with you. I have a hard time picking this game. I'm picking the Seahawks minus 6.5, though. Geno's played okay. Miles Sanders has played very well for Carolina. DK Metcalf is a little bit of a head case, but he's also played well so far this season. I don't really have much to say about either of these teams. I just think the Seahawks are probably just a better coach team. Got a decent defense, got a decent decent quarterback, but I don't think they make the playoffs. I just think the Panthers are just worse all around. So take the Seahawks to win. Chiefs versus Bears. Chiefs minus 12.5. The Bears might have a worse quarterback than Zach Wilson on the Jets, and that's saying something. Justin Fields has been awful. Patrick Mahomes. They haven't looked like the Chiefs of the past. Their defense is not amazing. It's good, and they're a defensive team now, it looks like, but it's not like amazing. And they did to be fair, they held the Jaguars to I think 9 points or whatever it was, but I'm not like over the moon about them. Their offense has been kind of stale comparatively. Now, if they weren't the Chiefs, would we say anything? Probably not. But they don't look like the world beaters they used to be. And again, I could see in games Patrick Mahomes used to start out slow. Maybe it's the beginning of the season. He starts out a little bit slower than normal, at least to his standards. Bears are just awful all around. They're probably the worst team in the league. Cowboys, Cardinals. I actually have the Cardinals plus 12.5. I picked the Cardinals last week again at plus 8. I think the Cardinals are actually a pretty well-coached team. I know they gave up a huge lead last week, and that's like, why would you say that? But like, how did they get that far ahead of a Giants team that supposedly is a playoff team? I don't think so. But like, the Giants are a really well coached team, and like the Cardinals, like in the beginning of the first half, outcoached them. Now they got outcoached in the second half, obviously. But I think they'll keep it close. The Cardinals are scrappy. I think they'll keep it close, but the Cowboys defense will obviously overwhelm them at some point, and the Cowboys offense will just do normal dink and dunk things and win the game. Steelers, Raiders. What did I pick? I don't even remember. Yeah, this is just another hard game. I don't like either of these teams again. I have more faith in the Raiders because I think Jimmy Garoppolo is just a better quarterback and knows how to win games and is a really good game manager. That's really all it comes down to. Really, that's it. There's really nothing else to say on this one. It's Raiders minus 2.5. Yeah, I take that. I wouldn't bet on this game if I were you, but like, Kenny Pickett has not played great. George Pickens has been good. Najee Harris has been good-ish. Not really, actually. Najee Harris hasn't been that good. Never mind. But I overall, I think Jimmy Garoppolo just knows how to win and knows how to not make the mistakes that throw the game away. And I think that's what will happen here, and they'll win the game. Eagles Buccaneers. I think this is where the Buccaneers go to 2-1. I think the Buccaneers have played very well. I think Baker has played very well, especially for his level play we've seen in the past. I just think the Eagles are a better team. I think they're getting their legs under them. I think the Eagles are going to start looking better. I think Jalen Hurts is just a much better quarterback than Baker, even though Baker has been a lot better than we might have assumed. I think that the defense for the Eagles is very good. I think the Eagles are also obviously going to want to keep pace with the Cowboys because the Cowboys look like the best team in that division, as much as I want to throw up with that sentence. But again, the Cowboys haven't had the strength of schedule so far that the Eagles have, so it's hard to tell. And that's not going to change this week. But the Eagles, the Eagles are just I think overall, there's a lot of weapons on the Buccaneers. I just trust Jalen Hurts in big games over Baker at the moment. But would it surprise me out of craziness if the Buccaneers win? No, because the Eagles do look a little bit slower than normal. They look a little bit out of sorts comparatively to last year. We'll see what happens, though. And then the Rams versus the Bengals. I think this is a hard game for the Bengals. The Bengals are -3, and I have the Bengals -3. And you know what? I'm going to switch that, actually, as we speak. I'm going to have the Rams plus 3.0 versus the Bengals. Joe Burrow's injured. It's that simple. And he doesn't look right at all. Matt Stafford is not injured. And he doesn't look amazing, but he looks pretty damn good. And he can score a lot of points. And they have a great wide receiving core without even Cooper Kupp. And, yeah, the Rams just look like the better team right now. The Bengals are the better team once Joe Burrow is healthy. But until that happens, it's the Rams. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment and subscribe and like, all that fun stuff. And let me know, let me know what your thoughts are. Thanks, guys.